right, we are back at the homestead range today. I've got a couple things to do. I have put a scope back on my 22, which I have not shot in probably 20 years. But I've got some friends that want to learn about firearms. They want to learn to shoot, they want to learn to hunt. And a 22 bolt action is where I more or less started in my career. And so that's what I'm going to teach them with as well. I think a bolt action makes a lot of sense for them. I've also done some repairs to my 1892 lever action Winchester. An original one, so you know it's 120 plus years old at this point, 123 I think. I replaced a magazine spring, so hopefully we're going to see if that works, and that's another good one for them to use. They don't have a lot of what you can see open space around here, so they're not going to be taking any huge long shots, and so a lever action and a reasonable cartridge might make a lot of sense for them for a hunting rifle here on their homestead, especially if you take into account California laws, which makes semi-automatics a little bit iffy. And I've converted my semi-automatic from a fixed mag with the Juggernaut Hellfire kit into a featureless rifle. So we are going to try that today as well. And I also did some work on my Deringer, which is 22 short. It had the little lever arm that spins the cylinder around, wasn't spinning the cylinder around. So we're gonna play with that too. And of course the screen just turned off, and I think it's supposed to. I need to find a spot to set you. And then I will get set up and we'll get shooting on the 22. All right, hopefully you can see that. My target's down there. We will use the camera on the spotting scope to do our spotting, although I might be able to see it from here, especially with the scope. So I might not need it. I don't have a tripod or anything on this one. Now we could do just standard hold it, and I have no problems with that if I'm honest. But I'm trying to zero it in, and so I want to be as steady as we can, so we're gonna use one of my walking sticks here, which actually, there we go. Actually came with this handy dandy little attachment to turn it into a monopod. So let's see if it's high enough for me. I think we want to come up just a tiny bit more. So let's do that, and then we'll get this thing locked and loaded, and we'll go from there. Now this is the same scope that's been on this rifle pretty much as long as I've owned it. So let's say almost 40 years, 39 years. Okay, we might still be a little bit low, but it's not too bad. Let's put one in the chamber. It is on fire. Figure out my eye relief here. Oh, I'm not sure I like this. Might be better off just standing. We're gonna put it on safe here for a second because I am not a fan of that yet. I think we need to go up a little bit higher still. Well, that's the stop on that. I do like this rifle. All right, 3 shots. Let's see where we're at. I don't know if we're anywhere I need to be. I can't see him from here. Oops. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. Hold on. I'm not seeing much on here, so I am way off apparently. So I'm not even gonna bother showing you. We're just gonna walk up with the camera. How about that? Right here. This is us right here, and I wanted to be right here. So we need to come down about, oh geez, that's a lot. 6 inches and over about 6 inches, maybe over 4 inches. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, after a little bit of fiddling around, we did some shooting, and I put my 9-hole review out here. Let's go and take a look, see how it looks. There we go. That's my 9 shots all stacked up right there. So as you can see, we could go a tiny bit to the right and maybe a tiny bit up. Maybe twice as much to the right as up. Because this is only 20 yards, right? So we get out to 100 yards. This group's going to be, you know, here-ish, probably. So we've got a little bit to do, but I think I'm reasonably fine with that. I might go and hit a little bit, but I'm not going to shoot again with it. So our next one is to figure out, whoops, there we go, is to figure out the, you guys didn't see that, but the whole thing flips upside down as I flip the screen up, and it freaked me out for a second there. Figure out the carbine, right? We got the lever action Winchester next. Let me bust it out. I don't know how accurate it is. It was accurate enough that I was hitting smaller steel targets, you know, like 3-4 inch steel targets at the range, I think, the other day. Even though the spring in the magazine wasn't working very well, it was kind of a pain. So I don't think it's too far off. So we'll just try iron sights. We'll shoot at the bottom, lower target, and we'll try that. This thing shoots these. Hopefully the camera can see that. This is 3230 HSM Cowboy Action cartridges. So this thing, I think, takes 10. I only put 10 in it last time. The literature says anywhere from 10 to 15, depending on cartridge size, but there are some much smaller cartridges, so we'll see. It's 2, 3, 4. The spring is better, I can tell you that. Ugh. Now, I think California law is 10, so we're only going to put 10 in here. But I'll use 11 one here to push it in the rest of the way. There we go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use my stick again, which is the reason actually I brought it was because it just seems appropriate for a cowboy rifle to be set up this way. You know, because they did like their shooting sticks there. Yeah, I think this is a good height for that bottom one. So let's go ahead. So nice now that that spring is there. Now it'd be obviously a lot faster if I was just shooting full prone, but let's see kind of accurate wise how close this thing is. I think it's high. Yeah. Yeah, we're just a little bit high. 1, 2, 3. So let me go see how I adjust this, and we'll see if we can fix that. Well, that may have been the issue. There's a little slide here, right, for the whole thing to go up and down. Because this pops up. All right, so you can do longer distances. Five, 4. If those are in hundreds of, I don't know if those are hundreds of meters or hundreds of feet, but they are going to be too far for me. So I'm going to kick this thing back down, and we'll try again, and maybe I'll just aim a little bit. We'll sit down again for this one. Oh, I still got to put a new one in. There we go. And that's 10. Woo! I think they're all pretty much stacked up there. I think the gun is consistent. It's just a matter of whether I can adjust my aim to get that, because it's not really adjustable. It is what it is. So clearly I need to adjust my sight picture. Yeah. So I did, well, I had a flyer up there. I was going to say I did bring it down a little bit because we have a bunch there. So that's not terrible. I mean, this is a 123-year-old gun shooting a 32-30 kind of pistol black powder cartridge. And I mean, it's not my 22, which is a tack driver, more or less, within its ranges. But for a carbine that's only meant to really hit whoops, I didn't put tape on this. A person-sized target at 100 yards. I think we're well within that. I mean, we're full. We're all A zone there. You know, I mean, there's a 10-point circle in there somewhere, but that's all A zone. So I'll take that. That's plenty good enough. Center of mass got me. Center of mass. Let me cover these up. We'll take a few more shots. Heck with Garand thumb. I'm getting Winchester thumb. Trying to get this thing loaded. Let's just try this standing. Have to give this one to Henry Chan to shoot so he can get his own. Normally he gets a rain of hot brass from standing next to his partner there on 9-hole. Whereas you can create your own rain of hot brass. Come on. Here. There we go. That's our 10. Oh. Let's go see. I aim toward the bottom of the circle. Yeah, I'll take that. I will take that. I was aiming here. So we're a little bit over and a little bit up still. I mean, I don't see a way to adjust it. So that is what it is. I just need to know that I need to be, you know, a couple inches down if I want center. And that is not a sub-MOA group. I don't know what that is. That's, oh geez. I don't know. That's a 4-inch group at 20 yards. So, you know, that's a 20-inch group at 100 yards. But to be fair, that's still probably all, you know, we spread that out. We're probably still all within the torso, pretty well centered, just kind of up and down it. So if you're at 100 yards, I can get you. It'll work fine for what it is. Now, a modern one, I'm sure, hopefully is a little more consistent than that one. Even that one, when it was brand new, was probably more consistent than that one. Again, 120 years ago, 1902, I think, is the manufacturer. I guessed 1903, but I found some paperwork from my dad where he'd done a little bit more research, and he says 1902. So we'll go with the year older. So 123 years old. All it needed was a new spring. And it's not a tack driver, but it is what I would call combat accurate, even if it's not going to win many contests. Give me a second to pull out the pistols. I want to shoot my Deringer and see if we got that repaired next. And maybe we'll put some few rounds through the 22. They're both 22s. The Deringer's 22 short, the Ruger's 22 long, and we'll see about that. Give me a second. All right, for handguns today, we have my SIG. We've got my little Cowboy 22, my single 6, and we've got the Deringer. This is the same model that Samuel Clemens carried when he went west to be a miner. You know, Mark Twain riding the Jumping Frogs of Calaveras County. Well, that's the gun he had when he was there. So we're going to shoot these little tiny bullets, these 22 shorts out of it. The problem I had, and we'll see if it's fixed or not, is that when you cock it, it was not rotating the barrel. Whoops, let me get the camera on there. It appears to now. So I'm going to go set you up in front of the target, and we're going to stand about 7 yards away, and we'll give this little guy a chance. All right, 5, 6. We're right about 7 right here. Am I on the camera? Hopefully I am. Maybe we'll rotate this way. All right, let me give that a go. One of the nice things about this little guy and little tiny bullets is it holds 7. So, we're going to go for, I have those 3 targets, we're going to go for the top one. And hopefully I don't hit the camera. Oh, we popped open. That's not good. Might have to think about that spring, or maybe this will be the last time this goes. It has a hair trigger too, let me tell you. All right, well, everything's got a everything's got a dimple on it. I had one that did something weird, I think. Yeah, that one that went when it didn't close, it popped open. So once again, a little bit high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was the first one. I went, oh, this one might be good, but we're a little bit high. So I'm gonna aim it down, and we're gonna do a few more. We'll see how that goes. All right. Woo, we're gonna aim bottom of the target this time. We'll see how that goes. We're locked nice and tight. There's 4 red lines, like a bullseye type of thing. We're gonna aim for the top of the bottom one. Had a misfire there. Oh, that's why we were up. Oh, I aimed high because I wasn't paying attention where I was supposed to aim at. I think we're all the way through. We got a couple in there that didn't go. So I'm going to click through one more time here. All right, so we're gonna say that if there's anything left in there, it's a bad bullet, right? Now it might be, I don't know how old this 22 short is. They do all have dimples. One of them does still have a bullet. So we got one bad one in there. we'll have to dispose of. Oops. Trying not to leave too much brass out here. It's not going to hurt anything really, but there it is. But still. This one that did not fire, I'm going to set aside separately. Don't want to put a live bullet in my pocket. All right. It was not the gun, though. It was, in fact, the bullet. It is a pocket pistol. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. How did I do better? All right. First of all, this one was when I forgot where I was shooting, because I was aiming here. But you can see everything else is right in there. So at 5 to 7 yards, this is more than good enough. This will do just fine. Good enough, pig. Good enough. All right, let me go put some tape over some of these, and we'll come back with the Ruger, and we'll see how it does. All right. I did not, in fact, remember to tape them up. So we're going to adjust our aim. I'll find another spot to aim. There's a little logo there for the... No, I'm going to go for some... There's a little red diamond. No, we're going to go through the middle of some blue tape. I will show you which blue tape it is when I show you the camera. All right. We are live. Have to remember what my blue tape is. There we go. How did I do? Well, we're kind of all over. But not terrible. So this is my blue tape. I was aiming for right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To be honest, I might be just as accurate with the little one as I am with the big one. Let me try that again. I don't know where we'll shoot this time, because I didn't bring the tape out with me. I think we're close enough. Let's go here. We've got this bullet right here. Let's go right here for this part right here, right where the line meets the diamond. Now, we'll go for the center. Screw it. We'll go center. We know we've got 3 big bullets there, and we'll see how that goes. I think that's it. It is. It's a little bit up and down. Pretty good left to right. There you go. I was aiming for here. So I'm pretty well spaced up and down. The first one was actually here, I think. So I adjusted my sight picture a little bit, brought them together. Like I say, we're pretty close left to right. We're a little bit off up and down. The question is, can we do better with the 9? So let me go grab it. We'll grab some magazines loaded so I don't have to keep walking back and forth, and we'll see how it works. All right, well, let's start by getting one in the chamber there. And we'll at least work on our draws a little bit. So it's just draw, acquire, shoot, just to get me used to acquiring the green dot in this case, right? Together, forward, there's the dot. Which target do I want? Okay, whew, a little bit louder after shooting the other stuff today, huh? Well, it'll all be the same to you guys. Whoops. I didn't see that. And that's the whole point. Out, straight. Oh, I don't have a good grip. There we go. Together, out, got my grip. Squeeze, okay. Up, out, together. I did also change the frame on this. I went from a medium to a small because I have kind of smaller hands. Oh, I'm kind of all in the same place. I don't think it's the optic though today. I think it's me. I could be wrong though. Up, together, out. I don't think I like the laser, the flashlight up there, because I want to put my finger around the end. The other thing about putting an optic on it is you can't see your indicators to whether you're loaded or not, right? We got to be pretty close here though. Not yet. I think we got one left. Yep. That was it. How did I do? Well, I mean, again, if we're talking combat accuracy, he's dead. He's dead, Jim. But it's not what I would call spectacular, not at 7 yards. And we're going to go for this one. I'm going to do one magazine with the laser, and then I'm going to take the laser off. Now, we're just going to take it off. Well, now leave it on, because if you guys are looking at it, you'll be able to see the laser. It's not what I'm going to be aiming for, but we'll see how close, because I think I made a small adjustment last time after putzing with this. So let me find a spot where you can see the target. I think that's okay. I can zoom in on that. Let me change magazines real quick. Now we're not going to do the full draw. I guess we can leave the flashlight on too. Our goal here is just to have a good good shot group. And there we go, that's our 10. Whew, a little bit better. Much tighter. We have what, one flyer off to the left there? But otherwise, not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, I hope you guys saw that. Oh. Whew. Go on, screen. Yeah, we had this one flyer off to the left. Everything else is pretty close. So that's better. That's more like what I want. We need a new spot to shot. How about this 9 right here? We're gonna go for that 9. Maybe I'll shoot from the side or something, just to give us something else to look at. All right, let's see, we've been here, so maybe I can put you on this branch. Hopefully that works, because I'm not gonna be able to see from where I'm standing now. I'm using the screen as a tripod. All right, I said we're gonna shoot for the 9, right? Is that our new 9-hole review? Put a hole in the 9. Oh, hold on. Kick that back on. I'm going to take this off. You guys can't see it now anyway, so there's no point. I'm going to see if I like having it off better just for the wrap. You know what I'm saying? That was terrible, Eric. I flinched. There we go. That's better. That's 2 in 1 hole. A little bit lower. And that's that. Whew. Other than the flyer, we're better left to right. So having my finger wrapped around the trigger guard definitely helped with our left to right action. Not as much probably with the up and down, although it's not terrible. This is my flyer. I told you I flinched. That's the one. Everything else is here. So pretty tight. Yeah, that's about the tight as my widest group there. And that's about as tall as my widest. So my height's actually pretty similar, maybe a tiny bit higher, but my left to right spread is much better except for the one flyer off to the side. I think now it's just practice. Now it's just practice. It's coming out, putting bullets down. So next, we've been going for a while. Next, it's going to be time for the AR, which I did some conversions to. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really like the featureless grip angle so much. I just feel like I don't get as much pull back into my shoulder. But it is what it is. We'll see if I like it better than the Juggernaut, because I just thought that takedown pin in the Juggernaut was a little bit finicky. A little bit too precious, and you guys saw last time I broke it, not the pin itself, but the little spring pin. So I'm going to get set up here, and we'll put some shots just here close, just to verify everything works. And I want to do some hiking today, so I'm not going to bother setting up 100 yards away. We're just going to kind of put it in and see what type of group we can get, and verify that everything functions the way we want it to. All right, just for shits and giggles, we're going to record this one on my phone here, just to see which I like better. That's really all there is to it, just to see which one I like better, the phone or the action camera. I do need a drink of my Dr. Pepper here, though, before. Not sponsored, but I'll take one. I don't know if the culture is shifting enough that Dr. Pepper is willing to sponsor shooters yet, especially bad ones, but we're going to give it a go. So, this is now a featureless rifle, which means it no longer has a pistol grip. It has a grip that comes back this way. It no longer has adjustable buttstock. It can be adjustable, but it is pinned so that you cannot lift the little lever, so it can't go back and forth. And it no longer has a flash hider, which doesn't hide the flash. It just keeps the flash from sticking up and blinding the shooter, which is clearly too dangerous. We want to have blinded shooters in California, but we have a muzzle brake on it. And that, to be honest, I'm talking shit, but I like muzzle brakes, so I'm not really all that worried about it. I'm going to spin this just a little bit this way, because I think even though it was set up to see the camera, the rifle there, I'm going to be back a little bit. Oh. In fact, I may even switch to the selfie camera, just so I can see what I'm supposed to be seeing. Can't zoom out any farther, so, well, that's fine. There we go. We'll start, I guess, at the middle, because that is more or less where we're at with the way the seat and the bipod is at the moment. So I did wrap some tape, so if I'm standing, I'll do this, but with this in the way and shooting this, I just want to hold it steady, and so I'm just going to hold it down. I am going to turn on the reticle. Come on, reticle. There we go. All right, we ready? Actually, I'm going to go for the tripod here, the bipod. Oh, you know what would help? If I put a magazine in and then charge the thing. After all, that was the whole point of the work I did earlier. Now, I don't know how much this is going to move the camera. We'll find out. A lot is the answer. I got to find someplace else for it. But give me just a second. High and to the right. High and to the right. Let's go ahead and kick the safety on. High and to the right. All right. Is that the optic? Again, we've done a lot of work to the rifle. It's entirely possible that it's no longer where it was. Or is it me? Safety. Might have to put a bigger safety on there. I can't quite reach it well with my thumb with this grip. Bouncing something off. Might lose the soda here. It is the optic. It is not me. Not that there's a problem with the optic, just that it's not zeroed quite right anymore. Dr. Pepper is down. I repeat, the Dr. Pepper is down. That was low. Ooh, we got a bolt hold open because we no longer have a locked magazine. Fixed mag. Might look at an ambidextrous mag release too. Let's go take a look. It is definitely the optic. I think. Whew, lost a couple bullets too. I had my change that I was using to adjust my scope with. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the bullets. Oh, these bullets are about to get shot, so I'm okay. We'll just stick them in there. Hopefully we didn't lose too many of them. I don't see any lying around on the ground, although I did see another 22 shell. I'm trying to police all my brass. I am trying to police all my brass. They're all headed this way. Oh, there's another 22. Oh, wow, there. What did I shoot, 20 of them? All right, let's go take a look. Poor Dr. Pepper. I think this is a pretty good group. Okay, so for reference, when we were zeroing, I believe this was our first group right here. 3 shots. This was our second group or third group, right? When we realized we were shooting at the wrong place. And we had one that's a little bit better, but, whoops. Which camera where? There we are. That's all 10 right there. So, that's not sub-MOA because we're only at 20 yards, right? We got that one flyer off to here. Otherwise, I don't know. Not bad. Now, granted, those other groups were way up the hill. Do we want to try way up the hill? Do I want to walk its ass up there? Now that we know it works? Not today. We'll save it for another day. But just remember, we're not figuring out any MOAs. This is only a 20 yards, so increase that spread by, 5 times, and we're probably somewhere in that same place. But what it means is I did not screw up my rifle from a shooting standpoint. There we go. By changing the grip. Even though it's not as comfortable for me initially. I mean, I'm used to shooting standard rifles. I'm used to shooting a grip that kind of does that anyway, a stock. But let me put a few more down and see what I think. The hardest thing for shooting for me is getting up and running around and then having to slow your heart rate down, slow your breathing down, get you back into it, right? The shooting's not that hard. That's the hard bit, is being able to adjust what you're doing, dial in for what you need. That one was low. I fucked that one up. So this container is fully finished. It's drywall. It's got light. It's really nice. And the previous owner denies it was used for drug production. But what do you think? There's also a sign inside that says, "Don't forget to turn off the CO2." So I used to sell dry ice actually to the real processing plants in the area. What do we think? That was the first time. That was the second time. So we dialed it in a little bit more, right? We're off a little bit there. But now we've dialed it into where we're touching. So we need to go down a touch down and a touch left. We've got one more magazine loaded. Let's give it a go, and we'll see if we can desecrate this this piece of paper right here. We will declare our own. This is going to get me in trouble. Our own jihad on paper. Still on the upper right edge of the circle. Not doing as good this time. I love the smell though. Well, we're still up and to the right. I'm going to click it one more, maybe two more each way before I walk up there, because I can see that from now. This way. Like I say, if we're off at 20 yards, we're going to be 5 times off at 100 yards, right? I don't know. Do I need to walk up there to show you that? I might be able to zoom in. The top mark is not a bullet, I don't think. I think that's just a hit where I did it. We'll walk up and see. This is the one I told you that I pulled right there. And yeah, that's just a scratch. So we brought it in, but not as good as that one. About the same as the bottom one. I think we're finding my talent right here. I live right in between here. Like I said, next time we need to go out to 100 yards so we can do that. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to put one more magazine through because I got 10 more rounds out in the box. I'm not going to fill it because you guys have already... where the hell's the camera on this thing? I'm looking at the wrong place. There we go. Because you guys have seen a few of it. So, thanks for watching. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you some more. Get out there and explore. Cheers. Yeah, I have to not look at the center of the camera. I got to look here. That is really, really, really difficult. Cheers.